What's going on, guys? It's Kude here. Predictions for update 5.4 or 6.0 if they decide to go in that direction. The next two characters, friendships, brutality, combat pass, and much more. Like whether we're going to get a new tower or not. So let's first start with when will the next update take place. The next update will be taking place on or around July 16th. It'll be at the end of this most recent Combat Pass, which is Shang Tsung. The best Combat Pass in my opinion. You're probably most curious about what I think the next two characters are going to be in MK Mobile. So let's just jump straight into it. The next characters are most likely going to be MK1 Kenshi and Onslaught Scorpion. But MK1 Kenshi, do I think that would be a great character to add? The answer is yes. All right. Even if we do copy MK Onslaught, I'm still satisfied by having a new playable Kenshi character. And by far, he's going to be the best looking Kenshi character. Please make sure to spend time on that model and don't skimp out. Don't make that face all weird like Zesty Shang. Come on, we should have had Zesty Shang in his original form. There's no reason why they went all crazy and remodeled his face. Is it going to be the end for the MK1 team? No way. I think the developers are going to continue adding MK1s even after all three team members are added. Although I don't think every character from MK1 is going to be an MK1 team member. I think some of them are gonna veer off and become their own teams, just like some of the MKX and MK11 characters. Onslaught Scorpion. Why him? Well, it all just stems from the fact that every Onslaught character is just an exclusive skin. I'll give you an example, and it's in MK Mobile as we speak. Adenium Blood Sindel. Her outfit is in MK11, but it's only for her Revenant self. You can't put that outfit on the live version of Sindel, but of course the NRS team can easily do that on their end. So without mods, you just can't customize the character the way they do in the mobile game sometimes. And for Onslaught, that's no exception. So that's what Onslaught exclusive characters for the team are going to be. Characters like Onslaught Scorpion, which I would love to see Onslaught Scorpion. I'm excited for that. Now that we got characters out of the way, let's move on to brutalities and friendships. I personally believe we are going to get Kenshi's brutality in the next update. You see what I'm doing there? Kenshi character, Kenshi brutality. It'd be the perfect way to introduce an MK1 Kenshi. We're not going to get an MK1 Kenshi brutality. It's obviously going to come from MKX. The developers, I don't think they're ready to take the leap of faith and start adding MK1 brutalities just yet. We're going to need to hold off on that. But the friendship being Liu Kang's, awesome. Liu Kang's friendship would be pretty fun to watch, not gonna lie. And I was under the impression we were gonna get all the lame friendships first, ones that were pretty easy to animate, but the fact that they brought Sub-Zero's friendship in full HD quality, like it looks amazing, and Jade's too. I think that any friendship's gonna be possible, including Jax Briggs' friendship. That one, that might be the best friendship in the game when they actually end up adding it. Moving on to combat passes. I believe that the next combat passes are going to start with classic Sonya Blade, which would be a wonderful combat pass considering she is one of the best beginner characters. If you just want to take a battle out, a boss battle in particular, considering she does damage to the entire team, you can just gradually do it over time. Classic Sonya Blade is so reliable. However, I think the second character is going to be a newer character, and I'm guessing it's going to be Classic Jade. I am so excited to see a Classic Jade combat pass. See, I've been waiting for her to be able to do brutality since forever. Look at her. She was born to do brutality. Just in case I get Classic Jade wrong, just know Adenium Blood Rain should be a combat pass anytime in the near future here. I personally believe Classic Shang Tsung's Combat Pass Ascension was so well received that it sold enough to justify adding newer characters every time, at least for one of the passes. I think NRS is seeing the positives to having at least one great character in a combat pass, because I don't think Vampirist Melina and Flaming Fist Liu Kang went over very well. Some extra dream combat passes that I think would sell out of the ballpark would be Edenian Blood Sindel, Edenian Blood Katana, and Lizard Noob Saibot. All those characters would sell extremely well. Alright, let's move on to a few different things. Firstly, going over extra brutalities just in case Kenshi's is not next. Takeda needs a brutality. Devora needs a brutality. Oh, disgusting. Remove her from this list. She doesn't qualify for a brutality, alright? She doesn't meet the requirements. First off, you have to be a likable character, okay? Goro and Cassie Cage. I'm not very excited for Goro's. It might look kind of cool, but I'm over MKX. I just want to see some MK1 stuff. You get what I'm saying? Cassie Cage would be alright, as long as they add MK11 Cassie. If not, count me out. But Takeda's, unironically, I want to see it. Regardless of whether they add MK1 Takeda or not, I do want to see it. For extra friendships, just in case Liu Kang's is not added, we have Jax, Raiden, Sindel, and Noob. I only wrote down those ones just because I think they're so unique that they're probably going to go first before all the lame ones. But Kude, what if they don't add an MK1 team member? Or what if they don't add an Onslaught team member? I know what they might do. They might expand upon the MK11 team as either the side character or the main character. And a few characters they need to add from MK11 that they still haven't is Melina, Kung Lao, Shiva would be pretty unique. Alright, hear me out on this one. Cassie Cage, Sonya, and Katana. Katana being one that, seriously, I don't get how you don't have an MK11 Katana. You added like 50,000 MKX variations. What's with the missing Katana? But out of all of those characters, what strikes you the most? Melina, probably. Yeah, Melina is a must. Her playstyle would be so fun and an absolute alternative to Ravenous Melina, which is the only Diamond Melina we have. Criminal, absolutely criminal. And to be honest, I don't want wacky hairdo MK1 Melina. No, I'm good. What if Kenshi isn't added? What if it's a different MK1 character? If Kenshi's not the third member they pick for the MK1 team, here's some definite alternatives. Smoke. I absolutely believe the developers are going to add Smoke. I mean, he is the #1 most suggested MK1 team member. He is #1. Everyone wants to see this man return. Classic Smoke is one of the best characters in the game. I can only imagine how overpowered Smoke will be when they add him to MK Mobile. Shang Tsung is kind of like a support, but DPS. So Smoke, there's room for him to just be a straight up DPS. Or maybe a defense character. I'm not entirely sure what kind of direction they're going to go in for that passive. It's probably going to involve a smoke bomb though. They could go generic on us. They could go, you know what this team needs. Sub-Zero. But I feel like they're going to treat it differently this time. But if they don't, Sub-Zero is always sitting there in the back going, me. We know you want to be picked, bro. We know you want to be picked. There are going to be a lot of people who don't agree with me on this one, but I just don't like the new Raiden in any way, shape, or form. I don't really like the voice actor that much. I don't like the idea of making him a new character. I just fell in love with the old Raiden. I don't want them to switch the voice actor up and make him young and all this again. I just don't want that. But hey, if they do add MK1 Raiden, it is what it is. What other MK1s can we expect? I expect to see Gyros at some point. And I would love to see him personally because I think he's just all around a better character story-wise and playability-wise. Johnny Cage is an absolute must, but I feel like it's going to take a bit of time to finally get him. God, you're probably gonna be able to spam just as much as you can with Combat Cup and even classic movie Johnny Cage. Every Johnny Cage character in this game is good. Practically every single Johnny Cage. So I can only imagine how overpowered MK1 Johnny Cage is gonna be. Kung Lao. Now this one, I couldn't care less. MK11 or MK1. It's the same thing to me. Kung Lao hasn't really changed much at all. He still looks practically the same. Nitara. How great would it be to have Megan Fox voice Nitara in MK Mobile? Some people say it's impossible. They're not going to use Megan Fox. But who else is going to voice Nitara? They don't have taunts recorded from anyone else. And they've never done that, right? MK9, Shang Tsung's voice actor, they just used old clips, old sounds from MK9. They're not going to be able to do that for Nitara. A new wing type character, similar to Vampire Melina. Havoc, yeah, I would like to see Havoc, but I'm kind of mixed on it. And lastly, Reiko. Reiko is underrated in the MK1 story. We only get to see him for a little bit, and then he just gets his ass beat. So he didn't have a fair match. In MK Mobile, I'll give him a fair match. Last character I definitely want to see, but I didn't write on my list, is Liu Kang. Alright, Liu Kang, he does look very similar to Fire God Liu Kang, right? But I still think there is something they can do with the new MK1 Liu Kang's movesets to make him interesting. Yeah, so I want to see it. Cameos. Cameo characters are most likely never going to happen. And what I mean by that is not a cameo system, because I think that's a possibility down the road if they do something crazy for update 6.0. However, there's zero chance in hell that they're going to add cameo characters. That'd be way too difficult for MK Mobile, considering they don't have any specialized movesets in MK1. So I don't think we're going to see Classic Striker, Classic Tremor. As much as I want to see Classic Tremor so bad, but I don't think they're going to know what to do move-wise. You can't play with them. Unlike NPCs from MKX and MK9, they're not fully playable. Until the next update comes out, we're going to avoid talking about DLC, Day of the Dead, Classic Movie, Deadly Alliance skins, because I think it's irrelevant. I don't feel like we're going to get it anytime soon, so why should I waste your time, throwing out all those predictions right now? I will put one thing to a close though. Spawn, RoboCop, and Rambo. Guys, it's not happening, alright? MK11, they don't want anything to do with it. I don't think they're going to pay licensing fees just to put Spawn, RoboCop, and Rambo in MK Mobile. Not this late into the game's lifespan. I don't think so. I would have loved to see Rambo and Spawn especially, but I don't think, guys. If they were going to choose anyone from that list though, most likely Spawn, just because he is so unbelievably popular. For MK1 DLC, I do think Omni-Man is going to be the #1 choice, just because he's always #1 on every poll for the most liked character and most wanted in MK Mobile. But hey, we're going to see how that all pans out in the future. But we'll skip DLC for now. Towers. Will there be new towers in future MK Mobile updates? My answer is yes. I think MK Mobile's team is going to realize that their current remastering of old towers is not going down well, and the game is YouTube views they're tanking. I think something they're doing is wrong. Towers were the most amount of hype this game was getting. Honestly, many updates ago, the top video views were always new tower releases, and people were just fiending for new tower content. New tower, not old towers, new ones. And with that in mind, I think they're going to have to go back to making new towers. It just has not been going over well in the community. They're most likely going to listen to the feedback because, hey, we've gotten this far, right? We have new game mode added and even dragon crystals, a whole new currency with a new shop system. I think it's possible the developers are going to take the feedback and go back to adding new towers. What does this mean for brutalities and friendships, though? Because all that is found in the crypt now. Well, let's just say the developers are going to have to get creative between separating towers and the crypt mode. They could just add 4 type of gears, 2 brutalities, and 2 friendships. They could do that. They could. I think that'll go down well. More content, the better. With that in mind, I want to go back to new towers. I hope you do too. And I think it's very well possible they're going to listen to the feedback and hopefully get this game on a good revival plan. Revival plan, please. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. And yeah, peace out.